And now, the general weather around Alaska.
Up first here, showing the warning graphic, we've got winter storm warnings continuing here for the western interior, mostly west of the Kuskokwim Valley there in the lower Yukon River area, on up across Seward Peninsula, Kobuk Valley, Noatak Valley, out to the northwest coast, the western Arctic coast, right up there from about Point Lay on down Cape Lisburne, Point Hope, and then eastward into the northern Koyukuk Valley on the southern Brooks Range area as well. And winter weather advisories here for the central interior, northern Kuskokwim Valley, and the coastal Yukon Delta, as well as the St. Lawrence Island, and also a snow advisory out for the Susitna Valley continues for moderate amounts of snow, a few inches falling there, and a high wind warning still out for the Alaska Range for winds gusting to 80 miles an hour, and a winter storm watch out for the eastern Arctic coast. Satellite imagery showing a big system moving into the western part of the state, low center somewhere in here, and the front kind of breaking up as it pushes eastward, but it stands out quite vividly here in the loop. Otherwise, the southeast coast affected by a weak system here, had a front earlier on that sort of, mostly moved on to the east, but kind of wrapping back into this low center. Brought a little bit of precipitation to the southern panhandle today. Had some clearing up there to the north. On the chart, here's his front edging eastward here into the central interior. A lot of wind and areas of precipitation with it, several inches of snow falling back through here, and also in the Susitna Valley. Talkeetna picking up snow today, and snow changing to rain late in the afternoon after a very snowy morning in Kodiak Island. It's pretty strong winds with this system. Gusts in Gulkana, Copper River Basin seeing gusts 50 to 55 miles per hour today, and McGrath gusts up around 55 miles an hour as well for a peak wind gust there. Bethel had a 56 mile an hour peak wind gust. And then up to the north, Shaktoolik there, eastern Norton Sound, Shaktoolik Airport had 53 miles an hour. So kind of a widespread area of windy conditions. Also Delta Junction had a gust of about 55 miles an hour as well. Southeast coast, lighter winds, some clearing to the north, a little bit of precipitation of that weak front down to the south. And we'll see for tonight, right in here, a new low center forms. This front will move eastward and break up, and this is the remnants of it moving into Canada there in the north, the Yukon. This low develops on that front and keeps it wet along the North Gulf Coast with areas of rain or snow. A little bit farther north, not really getting too much into the Copper River Basin there, and extending back into the Kenai Peninsula areas. And this next system moving inland here, low pressure just south of the Yukon River there, and the front extending down. Colder air coming back in out of the northwest behind that with drier conditions as well, but still some scattered showers out here for the Pribilof Islands up along the southwest coast. And quite an area of snow here up over the northwest part of the state all the way to the central and western Arctic coast. Drier though to the east. And stays dry here over the panhandle, especially down to the south now, that system moving off to the southeast, and more precipitation moving in toward Kodiak Island. Excuse me. And for Friday, let's see, this low center tracks to the northeast there over the Yukon Flats. Areas of snow here from the eastern Arctic coast right on down into the Brooks Range, Kobuk, Koyukuk Valley areas, cutting off somewhere over the Yukon Flats, but extending down through the central interior along this trough axis here with a narrow band of snow showers pushing right up to the Alaska Range into Bristol Bay. Scattered snow showers from the Pribilof, southeastern Bering Sea, but drier back to the north. And so this low now, Prince William Sound, pushes another front, rain, into the southeast coast. As you can see, back it up here, just rolls right on in tomorrow. From tonight's position there. So a wet day coming up for the southeast coast. Big change for the northern areas there from what you saw today. And rain or snow showers in a band here from Kodiak Island all the way out toward Atka Island. Then a pretty good break here. Higher pressure developing over the Bering Sea. And you can see the main center here shifts eastward, headed this rather weak system back to the west there. High pressure dominating central eastern Bering Sea. Light winds. Dry conditions, fair amount of clearing over a good portion of the area. Alaska Peninsula in toward Adak and Atke. Even the Pribilofs could see a few sun breaks. Scattered snow showers over the northern northeast Bering Sea. A trough with some snow right along the Yukon River again, down in toward the Kuskokwim Delta area. And clearing out during the day Saturday. Mostly cloudy to start here for south central Alaska, but this area becoming mostly sunny by midday and through the afternoon. Again, from the central interior right on down into Prince William Sound, back down toward Kodiak Island. Low pressure still off the eastern North Gulf Coast, and another warm front there pushing more rain into the Panhandle, light rain I should say, and light snow up over the Brooks Range to the eastern Arctic coast. And for the lows tonight, in the 30s for the southeast coast, 20s Copper River Basin, 30 to 35, south central Alaska to Kodiak Island, upper 20s, lower 30s, Bristol Bay. Colder teens here, Yukon Kuskokwim Delta, 5 to 10 for the Seward Peninsula to St. Lawrence Island, in the 20s for the Pribilofs, 30s for the Aleutians. Not too bad here over the eastern interior, 22, 30 for the lows, and above zero everywhere for the North Slope and the Arctic coast. Highs tomorrow, 20s for the eastern Arctic coast, and anywhere from 40 to 45, 6 or 7 there for the eastern interior, north of the Alaska Range, otherwise lower 40s south and east of the Alaska Range, and in the 40s for the southeast coast, cooling into the 20s here, back toward the Bering Sea, and 30s for the Aleutians. Lows the following morning with the cooler and drier conditions coming in and starting to clear out a little bit. Lows down into the 20s here for south central Alaska, 10 to 15 Kuskokwim Valley down into Bristol Bay, and anywhere from 5 to 15 for the southwest interior. Chillier, a few right around or below zero again for the North Slope Arctic coast into the Brooks Range. Lows in the 30s, no change for the southeast coast. Highs mid 40s for the Panhandle on Saturday afternoon, and 40 to 45 southeast part of the state, back to the Alaska Range in the cooler 20s and 30s, back to the west here, and also cooling off in the eastern interior, highs running 30 to 40 there. Teens for the Brooks Range, single numbers for the Arctic coast and North Slope.